Hello and welcome to For Book's Sake. I am Heather Roberts.
I am Veronica Adams, and we are 1852 Media.
We're feeling punchy today. So,
Oh,
yeah.
no truer words were spoken.
Well, let's see if we can get through this without being too punchy, but no guarantees. So today we are recording this on Friday the 13th. So that is
Yeah.
we record these a
Yes.
week in advance. So for
Yes.
scheduling purposes, usually a week in advance. So that could perhaps be contributing to the punchiness. I mean, that has quite a possibility there. But today we wanted to give some news updates and then talk a little bit about Kickstarter campaigns.
Yes, absolutely.
So, the one piece of news that I wanted to share that I don't know if everybody's heard of yet, but it's very exciting. You can finally now, in the year of 2023, put your paperback book up for pre-order on Amazon. I mean, let's round of applause. I mean,
Yay, Amazon!
about frickin' time. It really is. Before, for those that have never done it before, you had to either press live on your title or just leave it in draft until you were ready to press live on your title. And it was very annoying, very hard for just scheduling purposes. When you can schedule something, it makes life so much better. Having it up for pre-order, knowing when it's going to go, very helpful. So, trying to think, was there any book talk drama this past week? I mean, there was,
If
but
there was, I didn't see it just because of all of the world drama that seems to
yes,
be what I've been seeing on socials everywhere. Facebook,
rightfully eclipsing
TikTok.
any type of
Yes,
book talk
absolutely.
drama.
Yeah.
I would say the only couple pieces of drama that I did see was Berkeley, the
Mm.
publisher,
Hmm.
announcing their announcing that they acquired Mile High by
Yes.
Liz Tomford.
Yes.
And that title has Black characters in the title. Liz herself is a white woman.
Right.
And they acquired that title that was previously published indie, I believe, and
Hmm.
now they were going to republish it through their publishing house.
Right.
And they decided, in their infinite wisdom, to publish that book in February of 2024,
Oh
which
no.
is Black History Month. Yeah, Veronica's face says it all. If you can't see it, if you're not watching it on the tube of you, yeah, yep,
Okay.
mm-hmm,
Who was the
mm-hmm.
genius at Berkeley that made that decision?
No idea, no idea. But obviously, I mean, if
Let me take a step back. I'm not being. This has nothing to do with the book or the author. I think it's
no,
perfectly acceptable for authors of any race or just let's just take any demographic, okay? Race, sex, gender, identity, whatever, okay?
that's not our problem.
To represent characters that they don't necessarily have personal experience with or who are not like them. I think that's
Yeah,
perfect and wonderful actually for people to write about without stepping in it.
it can be done. Can be done.
Yes, as long as it's done carefully and with some sensitivity.
Which I don't know if that
But for
happened in this
a
particular case, but that's not the problem here.
for a non-minority author's book to be re-released under an imprint with a traditional publisher in Black History Month is just
Highlighted and featured, if you will.
so insensitive.
I mean, literally, if Berkeley's paying attention, and this is my plea to Berkeley, if you happen to be listening to this, if you're paying attention, you would move the release of that title and you would put in its place more than one, more than one
Author of color.
author of color. Like the person who wrote the book
Mm-hmm.
is an author of color, romance titles. Because guess what? They exist and they exist in numbers. And there's some fantastic, fantastic romances of
Yes.
authors of color
Yes.
that should and could be featured during Black History Month.
100% agree. Louder,
So,
louder for the Berkeley folks in the back.
yes, if you are listening, please be listening. And others have said it as well. So, just move it to March. Oh, God bless America. So that's the one piece that I saw. And then there was another piece. There was an influencer, or I don't know how big of a platform she had, but behaving badly, just sharing opinions that were not that just they're bad takes, man. They're just bad takes. She didn't want she doesn't these are her opinions about books that uh you know things that are in books that she doesn't like. And one of them is she doesn't like it when the author talks about the weight of the female main character.
What?
Yeah, everybody needs
Like,
to be.
are we talking about like men writing women? She was a svelte
No,
112 pounds.
no, she's talking about you know
Body
fat bodies.
representation.
Yeah, she's talking about fat bodies in romance books. That's what she's talking about. I mean, if we
Fat
literally
bodies
would just want
deserve
to
love
break.
too.
Yeah, she doesn't like the representation. So she doesn't say it that way, but that's what she means. And then she also doesn't like it when they talk about race, when they bring up the race of the characters in the books,
This
because
has this has stop shoving it down my throat vibes, if I'm being
yeah, she
honest.
said that those characters, there's just such a victim mentality that she doesn't
Yeah, okay.
like. Yeah.
Got it.
And then in the third thing that she brings up that she doesn't like is she doesn't like cheating in books. So I'm glad we lumped
Well,
those things together.
I mean,
I
that
don't
one I
like
get.
cheating I don't like cheating in books either, but can we
That
not
one I
lump
get.
these are some things are not like the others.
Right.
So there's that. And just so that it's clear, there are bad opinions out there. You can have an opinion. They're all, what is that phrase? Opinions are like assholes.
That's
Everyone has
right.
one.
But they
But
all stink. That's
yeah, they all
right.
stink. And you can have a bad opinion. You absolutely can. That's a bad opinion. So she
Agreed.
her account is down now. She's either gone private or taken.
Oh, well, couldn't have happened to a nicer person.
Mhm. Indeed. So those were the only two real pieces of book talk drama, if you will, that I saw.
Why can't we be
I know.
friends?
I
Why
saw
can't...
some updates to the Nate Lemke drama.
Oh, our buddy Nate.
Our buddy Nate, who does not actually have a fiance,
Shock me, shock me, shock me.
he made her up so that he could appear more human. And if that doesn't just say everything that we said in that episode, I can't.
I have no words.
Yeah. And then he did, in fact, basically, I saw he did a live with someone with a TikToker, and she was the one that had reviewed his book
Yeah, yeah,
pretty,
yeah.
yeah,
I saw her series of videos talking about
yeah, and so
her interpretation and her feedback for him after having actually read the book.
right, and so she actually did a live that she recorded. And in the live, he basically sort of said like that he wasn't like total he made some comments, and then she was like, so basically you were rage farming on purpose, et cetera, to get this reaction because whatever. And he was like, no, that wasn't my intent. But he's like, she like called him on it. She's like, no, but like literally you said that you used gender because you knew it was going to be a more of a hot button issue. He apparently didn't understand what rage farming was, and that he was in fact doing the textbook definition of
He knows
rage
exactly what
farming.
rage farming
Thank
is.
you. I agree. I was like, you
This
can't be
this guy
that
this
ignorant.
guy hangs out on Reddit and 4chan, okay? I'm sorry. There's just no way he doesn't. He knows exactly what rage farming is.
That's what I was thinking too. So that's the update there. If you want more, you can go to TikTok and typey and find it. There's plenty more of that rabbit hole to fall down into. I just don't want to give him a lot more of my breath. But those were a couple pieces of updates that I was just like, oh, heavens to Betsy. Like, seriously.
I mean, maybe he didn't make the New York Times bestseller list like he was attempting to do, but at least he made it onto like my personal list of top 10 authors behaving badly in 2023.
True. Oh,
You
we
know?
will need to compile one of those.
Yes.
Yes, we
Yes.
definitely will. Let's see. Oh, there was a good piece of news. I think that there
Love
okay.
good news. We don't talk about enough
Well,
good
I
news.
know. Well, so something that I suggested to Veronica that we do, and we might be starting this on TikTok as a feature that we do, and maybe we'll bring it over here to you know expound upon it.
Yes.
But remember what that TikTok I sent you about the book box?
Yes. Yes.
There was an author, she's an indie author, did an insane book box.
It
It
was
was
incredible.
truly beautiful. I mean, chef's kiss. It was
Yeah.
everything
One of the best book boxes I've ever seen.
ever seen.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go through. I was like, oh my God, we should do like, those hauls that say how
Hmm.
much everything is. And we can break it down for those who are curious, authors who are
Yeah.
curious of what does it take to do one of these.
Yeah.
Because while that was the most amazing book box I have ever seen, that was not a cheap book box.
No, 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 no. That would have been cost prohibitive for 99% of authors.
Yeah. But I think
It
it's
was
important.
incredible.
I think it's important to put numbers to some of these things because
Yes.
it gives people ideas of what they're looking at here.
Hmm.
And yeah, it was an insane book. It was awesome. Let me see. Can I give this author a shout out here? Can I find it in like 3 seconds? I
I
wasn't
know.
prepared to talk about this one today, but it just popped
It's
into
in
my
our TikTok
mind.
DM somewhere. That's probably the quickest place to find
Oh,
it.
you're right. You're right. That is probably the fastest. Okay, here it is. It is E.P. Bally. She's a
Okay.
romantasy author.
I
And
love that.
yeah,
Fantasy.
romantasy. E.P. Bali, Bali.
Okay.
Literally the best book box I have seen in a long
Amazing.
time.
Knocked
It
it out of
was,
the park.
yeah, truly fantastic. You
Hmm.
can go look it up and see. I don't want to tell you too much because then you'll take the
Yeah.
views away from that creator who did a great job
Yeah.
showing the whole
It's a
thing.
really good unboxing video.
It really is. If you're into unboxings, go do that. So I think I will do that. If I have a little time this afternoon, I might do a little breakdown. So by the time this
Yeah.
airs, it should be in existence. I'm going to hold myself to this. We will do that. But all right, so let's get to the main topic of today. Speaking of book boxes,
Yes. This goes
this
hand in
goes hand
hand.
in hand. Yeah,
Perfect segue, Heather.
thank you. Let's talk about a Kickstarter.
Let's.
Kickstarter campaigns. So,
What the hell is a Kickstarter?
so for those that don't know, a Kickstarter campaign is it's a Kickstarter's website. Okay, number one. And it's a special campaign where you are offering your backers special items if they back you. And in the romance industry specifically, and in the book world, if we will, it has popped up as a way to offer your readers special editions,
Yes.
hardcover editions, things like that, that you aren't selling anywhere else.
Right.
So that's the key with Kickstarter. The more exclusive to the Kickstarter campaign the thing is, the more likely it is that you're going to get a higher number of people
Yeah.
coming on it and backing you,
Right.
purchasing your product.
Right.
So wanted to talk a little bit about Kickstarter because I know that a lot of authors hear about it. And I've had conversations with some authors and they're like, I want to do a Kickstarter. And then we talk about it a little bit and they're like, no, thank you.
I don't
And
want to do a Kickstarter.
exactly, because it sounds simple. It is not simple, my
No.
friends.
No, it is
Kickstarters
not.
are a lot of work. A lot of work. Now you can make them as simple as possible and there's still work.
Yes.
You can make them super complex and then they're a lot of fucking work.
Yes.
So you have to think about that. And the biggest thing with a Kickstarter is price points. Price points on your tiers for your backing levels. Because if you've not figured out before you launch this Kickstarter how much how much you're going to net at the end of this, you could very, very easily throw
Lose your shirt.
yourself into the red. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. You have to be very clear about your investment up front and knowing exactly what you're going to spend so that you know what you need to price your Kickstarter items at in order to not end up in the poorhouse from doing one.
Because that is very easy to do.
Happens all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I worked with somebody where it happened. Now she wasn't super concerned about that, wasn't her intention, was
The goal
not
was not profit. The goal
correct.
was the special edition
Exposure
or the
and this,
exclusive,
yes,
whatever. Yeah.
correct. So it was not to make profit. But I really feel, and I think most will agree, that if you're putting this much work behind something, you want to make a profit.
You yes. Well, and so I guess in that particular case, the one you just mentioned, perhaps the profit comes later through the exposure and the
Yes.
selling of more books. And so it's a marketing investment that pays off in terms of brand growth over
And
time.
that was exactly what it was. Yes.
Right. So there's nothing wrong with that. And that's a
No.
great way to use a Kickstarter campaign. But just from a, straightforward, upfront, basic utility perspective, most of the time you're doing it to make some money.
And so you do have to choose a level that you want to that has to be reached in order for your
Yeah.
campaign to be satisfied, like in order for your
Right.
campaign to happen. So that's one piece that you have to think about. The other, the biggest piece I think is the tier levels.
Right.
Is what are you offering and how much is it going to cost you to produce this thing that you're offering? And then making sure that you're pricing these tiers effectively in order to make sure that there's money at the end of it.
Right. Right.
You can also do add-ons,
Yeah.
which an add-on is when somebody think of it like checking out at any online retailer and
Yep.
they or even like a restaurant and they're like, "Oh, well, did you want to add on this item?" Right?
Right. Do you want to take an entree home for tomorrow? Did you
Yeah.
get everything you needed from the grocery? Like,
Did you want
here
to
are
add
some
these garlic
suggested.
knots to your order?
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's exactly like that.
Exactly like that. So you can have those as add-on features, which is
And
nice.
you can price them so that you give yourself a really big margin on them. Like, you can make them
Yes.
really things that are cheap for you to produce or acquire, but that you can justify charging a little bit extra to just increase your profit margin on them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you could do that there.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also stretch goals. And
Yes.
stretch goals are things that you have to include in your tier level pricing because you have to have already absorbed that cost.
Right.
Because those are not additional add ons, those are things that you are sending to your backers when you get to the level of that stretch goal.
Right.
So,
These are commitments that you make up front in order
yes.
to get people to engage and sign on to the campaign.
And these can be things like a coaster, right? Like you
Yeah.
can buy coasters in bulk on Vistaprint for pretty cheap. Throw
Mhm.
your logo on it. And then when you reach $3,000 as backing, everybody gets a coaster that has purchased a
Yes.
physical product.
Or a bonus epilogue from a story that you've already written or something.
Yes. Yes. I've had some clients write a news story, say that they're, at this level, you
Yeah.
will get a brand new story
Yep.
of this particular couple or what have
Right.
you. So that's a great stretch goal. Foil covers,
Love a foil
a
cover.
lovely stretch goal because foil covers are not cheap. They're like
No,
a
they're not.
$4 add-on to any hardcover.
Yes.
And when you start extrapolating $4, 3 or
That adds up
$4 per
really
cover.
fast.
Yeah. So for example, you have 100 hardbacks that are ordered, that's 400 extra dollars
Just for the
that
foil
just
cover
for the
version.
foil covers. So if you have that as a stretch goal on one of your higher level stretch goals where you already have the margins set, that a $400 hit to your profits wouldn't be that terrible. and it
Right.
would get you to that point, then that could be worth it. Or you could potentially have foil cover as an add-on and pass that along to the
Yes.
consumer and let
Yes.
them add that on. So these are all options that you can do. You can do this in a book box situation.
I've seen that done several times actually.
Yeah. And I think that's really successful. So, like,
Yeah.
the lower level tiers are like individual products, right?
Hmm.
But then the big last two tiers, maybe, I'm just throwing things out there, are different versions of book
Right.
boxes. One is like a mini book box, and one is like the book box.
Yeah.
And those are really nice. And a lot of people like that. And if you have it in a version, this is where like that PR box that EP Valley did, like
Yes.
that would make an amazing Kickstarter
For
where
sure.
where
At
you
like the
do
top
all,
tier. Yeah.
yeah.
All in, like,
I mean, you'd
yeah.
probably be charging $300 for this book box
Easily.
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 But people could potentially purchase it and they probably would. I mean, I've seen it's amazing. And you can offer other things. I have a client who is offering a 30-minute phone call, like a Zoom
What?
call. Yeah. As
30
part
minutes
of,
on Zoom with the author?
yeah, with one of the higher packages. And she's limited it. There's only so many that you can,
Well,
purchase.
yeah, there would have to be, obviously. She's got to do some writing too.
Right. Right.
But
But that's
that's so
fun.
fun.
The highest package also includes naming rights for future children of some of her characters.
Love that.
Both of them have been
Readers
purchased.
love stuff like that. They get the
Yeah.
opportunity to participate in the creation of your next whatever.
She only had two available for obvious I mean, she didn't, there's only two babies available in the books. And so both of them were purchased. So they will be named by
Love
some
that.
of her backers. And that's just really fun. It's such a collaborative experience. Yeah. I think that's super cool. And then there's another book box that's coming up that is going to be very popular, I think. It's called Revenge Fuck. And that has a couple of our clients in it, full
Yes, it does.
disclosure.
Yes,
It
it does.
has Golden Angel and
Hmm.
Samantha Cole are two of our
That's right.
clients. And the rest of the authors in the box, we've worked with some of them in the past as well and adore them. And yeah, it's going to be an amazing,
Dark
amazing
taboo
Kickstarter.
revenge romance.
Mm-hmm. I think it launches October 24th, I want to say
Somewhere.
28th, somewhere in there. Somewhere
Mhm.
somewhere at the end of October. We'll put it that way. Get excited. It's coming soon.
Yes. Keep your eyes
And
peeled for more.
yeah. And it's already, you can go and follow it so that you can be the first to be notified when it does come out.
Yep.
So I don't mess up
Gorgeous
dates.
cover, by the way. Gorgeous cover.
Gorgeous cover. It's going to be a fantastic, Kickstarter opportunity. Really cool. Brand new stories, only offered through the Kickstarter. I I mean, this is the way you do it. This is
Yes.
the way you do a
Excuse me.
Kickstarter.
Well, the collab,
The
right?
collab
Like, so
as a
it's a group
collab.
project. Yeah.
Yes.
It's just an anthology. And I mean, it has the power of every contributing author's readership and market
Correct.
and their
Yeah.
ability to reach people. So
And
it's a great way to combine forces
it's
to
right.
really be successful with the Kickstarter.
It's amazing for the authors because they get this great opportunity to potentially find a new reader that's new to them.
Yep.
And it's also amazing for the readers because they get a brand new story that has never been published anywhere else before in a gorgeous package.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful package. And you get introduced to other authors whom you may not have ever read before and
Exactly.
you probably will like.
Yep.
It's just
Yeah,
it's a
it's all of
win-win.
the pros of an anthology
Right.
with all of the marketing power of the Kickstarter campaign. It's just a beautiful marriage of stuff,
It is. So
of
this is a
tools,
great way to use a Kickstarter.
for sure.
But you can also do it with books that are already out, which is what
Yes.
one of our clients is doing right now.
Yes.
I think by the time this actually goes live, the Kickstarter is going to be over. So, yeah, sorry, but yeah, you can. She took books that she already had published and put them together in like her own anthology, if you will, her own
A
collection,
collection. Yeah.
and put a beautiful cover to it, a hardback, and it, added some extra stuff, right? There's a new story and things like that. But yeah, that you can do that with your own titles as well. But it's really cool to see the different ways that you can do a Kickstarter. Just like any other marketing tool, you just have to get creative with it and you can pretty much turn it into whatever you want. But yeah, I wanted to talk about Kickstarter because one, they're getting very popular, which is
They
great.
are. We keep getting more and more inquiries about them.
Yeah. And that it's awesome. But also, I think it's important for people to know how much work behind the scenes goes into a
Yes.
Kickstarter.
To have a successful one, it is quite a bit of work. I
Yeah.
mean, you can just set one and kind of forget it. You're probably not going to reach your goals.
Yeah. So just knowing that if you're going to invest in this, you should really invest in it and do it the way that it's supposed to be done.
Right.
And use it like it's a tool, just like any of these other tools that we have in
Yes.
the industry. So
Mhm.
use it as a tool, and
Yep.
if you use it right, it can be very successful for you.
Hmm.
So that's my 2 cents about Kickstarters. Anything more for you, Veronica?
No, I think you covered it beautifully. Beautifully.
Oh, well,
But I
thank
have
you.
to ask, do
Yes.
you have a general marketing tip for us this week?
I do. And strangely enough, I actually didn't do this on purpose, but it dovetails nicely. So, the marketing tip I have this week is about collaboration.
Look
And
at you.
I know,
Did we not just spend like 5 minutes on that?
I know. So, I won't belabor the point, but
No, you're brilliant.
collaborating with your other peers, other
Yes.
people in your industry who do the same or similar things that you do can really elevate your brand. So, doing things like a collaborative giveaway where your multi-author giveaway, doing
Yes.
putting that together. That's
Yes.
really low cost to you as the author and
Mhm.
high value because you're getting potentially email addresses as one of the gets, right, for you as an
Right.
author as a
Right.
result of the giveaway. Or you're getting followers from people who are like you, who
Yeah.
potentially
Who
would
like
like your
books like yours?
books.
Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
on social media. So collaborating in that way is one way to do it. Also, doing anthologies and things like that, another great collaborative tool. And
For
you can
sure.
do anthologies for profit, and you can also
Yes.
do anthologies for charity.
Yes.
So there's multiple ways to do an anthology. Um, Pure, shameless shout out. We have an anthology on pre order right now for
Yes, we
charity.
do. We do for a very wonderful charity.
Yes, it's called the title is On the Line. It's a hockey romance anthology, and it has 12 brand new novellas from hockey romance authors who most are holiday stories or holiday adjacent, if you will. It's releasing November 7th. It's available for pre-order for $2.99 on all platforms, and all proceeds go to After Action, which is a 501c3 nonprofit that seeks to increase the economic outcomes for trauma survivors. So you can go to myafteraction.org and check that out. Full disclosure, Veronica and
God,
I,
that was a brilliant spot you just did.
thank you.
We should isolate that clip and just play it back everywhere. That
I'm
was
fine with
perfect.
that. Full
Yeah, no,
disclosure,
the full disclosure part, you and I are
yeah,
both board members of
yes,
After Action, and the
yes.
nonprofit is actually run by who?
My husband, he is the
Yes.
founder of the nonprofit,
Yes.
and we fully believe in it and have been board members for the past several years.
Yeah. Yes.
So we look forward to doing more good work with that nonprofit. And this
Absolutely.
anthology will only help that. So, but that's one great way that you can collaborate and also do some good and,
Yes.
put
Yes.
some money towards a nonprofit. So, And then other ways of collaborating can be a little, they can even be simpler just by collaborating together when you're at a book signing event, for example, where there's two authors and you happen to write similar things. Throw together a little bundle with both of your books and see what happens and split the
Yes.
proceeds. I
They
mean,
even do a little mini book box together.
yeah, don't be afraid to collaborate is
Right.
what I hope to get across here, because you're going to find new readers, you're going to find people who potentially also like your books, and potentially also a new friend, somebody in the industry that you can go to and lean to and talk to. And that's really helpful in this sometimes very cutthroat industry.
Yes, it is.
So
Oh, excuse me.
you're fine. It is allergy season. And Veronica is suffering. Oh boy, is she.
Yes, full disclosure, it's harvest season where I live, and my allergies are just, you can hear it in my voice now.
Yeah. Sorry, you're gonna make me cough too. It's like yawning. It's one of those things. But well,
Wow, what a way to end the podcast.
what a way to end it.
Woo!
Veronica's eyes are
I am
watering.
dying. I am dying. Heather has given you guys some brilliant advice. I'm going to mute my mic again so I can cough.
You're good. All right, I'm going to lead us out, and Veronica's going to cough along to our outro music.
Thank you.
Oh.
Oh, bless it.